Adam's making an outstanding desk for people who don't like to sit down on the job.
This project's for you.
Tara gets inky with a young designer who's bringing back an art from 100 years ago.
Ready to go?
Absolutely.
All right, come this way.
Jason's easy jobs that'll have your garden thriving through spring.
And so get out there this weekend and do a tidy up.
Oh, I was just finishing my essay. We all know that sitting down all day isn't the healthiest thing for us. But what happens if we have to set up like this for work? That doesn't mean that you need to sit down, and I have the perfect solution. Just need to write down a few notes first. Who am I kidding? I can't write. For this project, I'm going to be making a stand-up work desk, and it's got the added bonus of being portable too, so there's no excuses for when you change work spots. To make it, I need two tools, a jigsaw and a cordless drill. The rest will be hand tools to mark it out. For the material, I'm using some marine ply. Now, the idea is this desk will be 500 high and 700 wide. The first thing I need to make is the two sides. They're going to be identical. I'm going to draw a square box and then use this paint tin to create some curves. Because I've sketched this design out freehand, I'm using this side as a template for the other. That way, I know that both of them will be exactly the same. And something to remember, when you are cutting curves, you want to use a blade that's nice and narrow. That way there's not too much friction. And when you need a neat cut, you want your blade to have a lot of teeth. That way you get a nice fine cut. All right, that's the two sides done. You can see we've got 500 high. Now I need to make it 700 wide. So I'm going to put a shelf in between the two. But I don't want this shelf to be fixed because it depends on the size of the person and the height of the table that you're working off. So it's going to be adjustable. And to do that, I'll be making a sequence of checkouts spaced at about 50 mil apart. So then you can pick where you put your shelf. All right, that's the two sides done, and you'll see that they're exactly the same, except for these 4 checkouts that I've just done, and they're opposite sides of a centre line, and that's because I'm going to be putting this cross brace in to strengthen everything up. And they're butted up against each other, and that's why they're on opposite sides. Now, because this desk is portable, I want it to be able to pull apart, so I'm not using any glues or screws. So I've made all these joints nice and tight, so everything just slips into place. With the cross bracing in, we can see that we've gotten rid of our lateral movement. And now I've just cut up a couple of shelves, following the same process, doing a checkout on this side. So that means they will then slide into our grooves that we made in the side, like so. Look at that. And that is our desk, but it isn't finished yet because I need to give it a quick sand and then finish it off with some wax. Happy with the finish on that. Now I can just put it back together, and that's the best thing about this. You can put it together and take it apart wherever and whenever you want. That's one good-looking desk. Oh, I actually just put a computer there. That would help.
Well, winter's gone, the flanos are away for another year, and it's time for a new look. And the same thing goes for the garden. So get out there this weekend and do a tidy up. And while you're at it, it is the perfect time to change the batteries in your smoke detectors. Now, the days are getting longer, which means more sunlight, the ground's warming up, the grass is just about to come out of hibernation. But with that, the weeds are about to thrive as well. So I'm going to hit it with a weed and feed, but before I do that, I'm going to work on compaction. So aerating is the way to go. Grab your garden fork, go as deep as you can, and do the dance that every kid will be doing in the primary school playground this summer. Everybody shuffling. What it does is it creates holes so oxygen can get into the soil. It also means when it rains or when you water, the water goes down deeper. That means you have deeper roots in your lawn. The deeper the roots, the stronger your lawn, the less weeds you get. Now this little spot here used to be the lemon tree. You can get some of the runners that are around the side, and once they've got contact with the soil, they'll start to grow. But there's also some runners that are growing over the lawn over here. When you turn it upside down, you can see all these aerial roots that we're trying to find nutrients. So once we bury them over there, they'll be perfect. Now I'd give that a really good water and I'd walk on it so it's got all contact with the soil. Keep it damp for sort of the next 4 to 6 weeks. And in a couple of months' time, you won't even know there was a hole there. Now, the one thing you can do that'll make the biggest difference is weed and feed your lawn. Now, this is convenient. It simply clicks onto your hose and you turn it on. Now, the only thing you've got to think about is kids and your pets. While it's wet, you want to keep them off. So, Danny, stay. Good dog. Your lawn will green up within about 7 days. And it also knocks over about a dozen or more weeds, including clover, which is pretty hard to get rid of, and bindi. And if you've got a buffalo lawn, well, you need to get a different bottle because if you put this on buffalo, it'll be returfing in a couple of weeks. If you've never done this before, you wouldn't notice, but it's a new trigger system, and the best thing about it, it doesn't leak at all. And a bottle like this will do about 180 square metres, and I'm just doing the rough calculations. I reckon that's about 2 or 3 goes on this backyard. One of the weird things about how plants grow in winter is you'll end up with some water shoots. Things aren't really growing and then one branch just takes off. So a great time of the year to get the hedge back into a uniform shape. So I'm just giving this one a little haircut. Now, a couple of important things. I'm about 1.2 metres off the ground. I'm on a ladder. I've got plenty of ladder still supporting me, and I've got a huge weight down the bottom to counterweight, so I'm not going to fall over, and another set of eyes keeping an eye on me if I do something silly. And when you're clipping it, if you can just run your hand over it and see if you pick up this stuff, it means that that's not going to die sitting on top of the plant, creating another humidity problem, and the plant might actually suffer from. This little plant here in the corner is pretty common. It's called purple fennel grass or pennisetum. It's actually got a couple other names of river grass because it likes wet feet, or foxtail grass because these little pom-poms look like foxtail. This one's been left for a few years, so the new growth coming through is going to get lost in the mess. The best way to prune it, and I've done it about 5 different ways, is cut it down to stubble at the end of winter. It gets rid of all this brown grass, and then the new grass that comes through is this vibrant maroon or purple that's coming through like this. This is one of those jobs that if you did it every spring, it'd be 2 minutes work, and because this hasn't been done for about 4 or 5 years, it's like a little bit more than that. Once you've got it down, clean it up because you will be looking at it for about the next month or so. Now, this is how tough they are. I've pulled that out, planted it there, give that a water, and it'll grow just as fast as this one that hasn't been disturbed. Well, last but not least, why don't you give your garden beds a little bit of love? First thing that I see is all that dead morea underneath the hedge. People have been hedging away, they think, oh, well, it's on the ground, it'll just break down. The reality is, for a green plant to break down and compost, it needs to draw nitrogen out of the ground. When you draw nitrogen out of the ground, your plants start to suffer and they can potentially go yellow. So mulch is good, but not green mulch like that. There's so many to choose from, you can easily get confused. This one here is very fine, and that's probably the one I'd lean to for the garden bed. These two are chunkier, and they'd be great underneath swings and trampolines. Now, you can get pea straw and sugarcane mulch. They work really well, but I tend to use them only in veggie patches because they last for a very short amount of time. But the one I really like is this one. It's called Yuki mulch. You can see that it kind of feels a little bit like potting mix or soil. It's so broken down, and that's the composting process already beginning. So when you add that to the garden, It's going to regenerate the soil, not take anything out, but add to it. Still the best part of any gardening job, watering in at the end of the day. Your sense of achievement, you've set the garden up for spring and summer, and rather than being a 9-iron, it's pretty much a gimme now. For non-golfers, that's a shot about this long that looks good.
I'm in the Hills District, just sort of west of Sydney. I'm here to look at a little French bulldog. Now, this dog belongs to Catherine, and the dog has a bit of a problem. You see, it's all about water restrictions. The dog's not quite sure how they work, but it's trying to contribute in one way or another. Sound interesting? Sound peculiar? It sure is. Wait till you see this one. Good morning, Catherine.
Come on in.
Thank you very much. Good to see you.
This is Tallulah.
Tallulah, hello. Come over here and say hello to Dr. Harry. He's going to sit down here on the step and say hello to you. Goodness gracious me, Tallulah's leaking. Are you leaking? Are you? Is that what's happening? Little drops coming out of your bottom. Is that what's happening? Goodness me. There is a little bit on the floor, isn't there?
Yeah. Hey.
So is that about what you normally get, or do you get more
More,
than that,
more of a
Catherine?
sprinkler kind of situation going on.
Goodness me. We're up the stairs. Look at us go. So how long has this been going on?
Since we got her for about 10 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And it's pretty consistent, I take it?
Constant. As soon as someone comes to the front door, it's sprinkler.
Okay.
It's sprinkler time.
Why is the floor like this? Are you trying to, you know...
We are renovating, but I'm in no rush to get floorboards on until this problem's sorted because I'm so sick of cleaning it up.
So it started right from the word go.
From the
What did you do to try and control the problem when you first saw it happening?
we would like pick her up and say no, and then put her outside. But it just, no matter what we were doing.
So would she'd have been, you know, 12, 14 weeks old?
12, 14 weeks old.
Huh?
And I just thought she wasn't taught trained yet, and that was the issue.
You can see who the star of the show is, can't you?
Oh, my goodness.
We've got no chance here, whatever,
This
right?
is my life.
The dog is just taking over the entire chat here, right? Will you stop it?
This is just...
But she's a French bulldog, and that's all about the personality, isn't it? Okay. Parlez-vous français? Oui, oui. No, that's what you do. That was the wrong thing to say. Stop that, Dr. Harry. I think the dog likes me. Listen, can you get down on the floor? I know I love kissing dogs too, but it's good time for you to get on the floor, okay? All right. Well, I think our next move is for me to do a bit of veterinary science, to collect a sample of this dog's urine and test it to make sure there are no abnormalities. Now, we don't need much, okay? I think a walk down the street will do just fine. You ready? Let's go. Well, now you've got to be prepared, okay? The moment she looks like she's going to do something, you zip underneath there, right? Get down low, underneath, okay? Ah, yes! Did we get some? We got some! How good is that? I love it. So these are little strips, all pretty colours down there, right? So what we do is we dip one of these strips in here. Put it in there. And we just hold it in the urine for about 10 seconds. Shake off the excess. Now to see what's going on. Okay. Okay, so the first one up that we're interested in is what's called the pH, right? pH of about 9. Right, strongly alkaline. Okay, and that's nowhere near normal for a dog, and it's something we've got to do something about. So we've got to supply medication, which is going to pull the urine back down to somewhere just under 7. So the normal for a dog is between 6 and 7, and we're right up here on 9. I'm not looking at any real urinary tract problem except a very mild cystitis.
Okay.
So I think we're not dealing with an infection or anything like that. What we're dealing with is an imbalanced pH in the bladder. Fix that, retrain the dog. So now I need Big Brother to go and get something else that I want you to put on the dog.
A nappy.
It's not a nappy at all, right? But thank you for your contribution. Get the lead for me, throw the lead over her. Walk her towards the front door. Ask her to sit, you need to reward her straight away. Now, it's got to be instantaneous. Without the lead, we don't have control. So, we've got her to sit. What do we do with the people on the outside of the door? what would you suggest? What would you ask them to do?
Not to come over.
Not to come in. You want to become a recluse, a Howard Hughes or something.
Yeah, I've always told them not to acknowledge the dog,
Yes.
but that's easy said than done because she's.
But you're right, Catherine. That's exactly what they have to do. Not acknowledge the dog.
Right.
So I want you to make me a sign. Dog in training, you know. Open door, ignore dog, walk to back of house. So something along that will do just fine. So basically, I think we're going to overcome this whole problem with training.
Perfect.
Okay? So I've gone through the simplistic exercise here of what happens. I want you to go and make me the sign, and that sign goes on the outside of the front door.
Good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
Now, hopefully it won't have to stay there all that long, okay? We'll get this dog reprogrammed, we'll be right. We can only hope that people read it and obey. If I said 3 months, I'd be disappointed if it took that long. But honestly, I think you can turn this around quite quickly, I really do. If, on the other hand, it is still a problem, then I'm suspicious of there being a problem within the bladder. I need to refer you to another vet, have some ultrasound and x-rays. Okay?
Yep.
All right, goodbye, little lady. Good girl. Okay. I think she needs a walk, mate. Catch you all later.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm in Daylesford in country Victoria, such a pretty place to visit. This place is full of the most beautiful boutique shops, and you know, it might be rude if I don't just visit one. I'm a huge fan of independently owned country stores because everything is chosen with love, things that have a story. All of these cards are just so beautiful and individually done. Just amazing quality. I think we should go and find out how they're made. Hello!
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. I was in the neighbourhood.
Oh, and you thought you'd drop in?
Gosh, look at where you live, you lucky girl.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
How long have you been here?
9 years now. I know. So inspired by the gum trees, my little piece of heaven. My studio's just round the corner.
Oh my gosh, what a gorgeous place to work.
I
How
know.
lucky are you?
I know.
The key in the lock and turn, light your cigarette up and watch it burn.
Come on in.
It's amazing. I knew it would be. Look at this
thank
place.
you.
In the places I go to, on and off inside my head.
Right.
Ready to go?
Absolutely.
All right, come this way.
This is beautiful. Look
This
at
is
this machine.
Harold. Harold was born in 1909 and weighs nearly 500 kilos. Harold does all our cutting.
He's absolutely beautiful. So tell me, you're a graphic designer, trained.
Graphic designer trained.
How did you get into this?
Oh, because I was doing my corporate job, sitting behind a computer, which isn't why I studied design. I wanted it to be tactile, I wanted it to have feeling, and so it became a hobby.
Why letterpress?
Oh, because it's ink on paper. It's my thing, you know?
Has stationery always been your thing? Because as a kid, I used to love collecting like pencils and paper, and I really loved that.
Oh, I love that. From when I went to kindergarten, my mum got called into the kinder because I was using too many art supplies.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's fun.
So yeah, I was limited to 5 a day, 5 paintings a day. So
Oh, that's sad.
let's go see Miss Daisy.
Beautiful, look at her.
I know, Miss Daisy.
What a magnificent piece of equipment. Did you have to restore?
I did. I found her in the back streets of Collingwood on a bike ride one day. She was rusty and I went in and I said it was an old printer, and I said, I was wondering if that press out there is for sale, and he said, lady, if you can move it, you can have it.
Are you serious? Yeah. Wow. So in terms of the actual restoration, did you do that yourself or do you have to send it off to someone who knows what they're doing? Because if this was all rusty...
Yeah, trial and error. So lots of pulling apart, lots of photographs.
Yeah.
And I am really lucky that my dad's an engineer, so I had a little bit of assistance as well.
So good. So how old do you think she is?
She is 1903.
She's the one that you're using mostly?
She's the one that does a lot of the printing.
Yeah.
So a lot of our greeting cards, wedding stationery, business cards.
Love to print something.
Let's do it.
To get the printing started, we need to select a design plate. That's fantastic. What an amazing piece of furniture.
I know, incredible. 63 drawers.
So which of these drawers do you think you select from the most?
Probably gravitate to the teeny tiny card.
So these are all your designs?
They are. So I love to hand sketch, and then I take my hand sketch and apply it to the computer. And then from the computer, we create a film. And our film looks something like this. And then we take that and we put it under a UV light, and then in turn leaves our image area behind of what we want to print.
After choosing one of Sam's design plates, we mount it onto the chase or printing base.
And then, snap.
Oh, that's a good sound. Ready to go?
Ready to go. We're going to mount our chase into Miss Daisy. Now we just need to apply some ink.
Okay.
With every revolution, you can see that the actual disc is moving, and that is actually moving our ink around.
That's a long way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does go a long way.
It's amazing. How's your leg? You must have a muscly leg.
That's why I can't have knee-high boots. My calves are too big.
Good workout.
I need to swap legs though. I do need to remember that.
Yeah,
because
you're
otherwise,
getting bigger.
I walk around in circles. You want to have a go?
I'd love to.
You've got this.
Okay.
I've got faith.
Okay, so card goes in. There's no front or back?
No, that goes in.
Yep.
Okay. All right, you're going to treadle. So foot on the pedal.
Like that.
Yep, keep going.
Get up some speed.
You can do it, get up some speed, and when you're ready to print, pull that handle on.
Really? Oh, that's it. Oh, I did it. Is that good? Oh, it's gone back again. Is that meant to happen?
You got a double roll. We call that a double roll.
I wish you could feel this. It's actually beautiful. It's all indentations. What a gem. I love Daisy. Now Harold gets in on the act with some trimming. Then the tiny card is ready for packaging.
You ready?
That's just so easy. That must be super sharp.
It is super sharp.
It's crazy. And that's it, card done. Look at that. That's
All
beautifully
ready.
packaged. Ready to go to store.
Ready to go.
I might just have the right store in mind. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Spring is here and so is nature's show-off, the beautiful wattles. You might be surprised to know there's a wattle flowering every month of the year, and there's one for every part of the garden, every section. Every gardener's going to be happy. There are ground covers, shrubs, trees, and a lot of weirdos in between. Australia has always been the country of the green and gold, but we didn't have a national floral emblem until 1988, the year of the bicentenary, and this is the plant they chose, Acacia pycnantha. Beautiful, massive flowers. In another couple of weeks, you can see the buds there, and lovely, long, lance-like leaves. The golden wattle, Australia's floral emblem. Everyone thinks wattles are all the same, but in fact there's an enormous amount of variety. Look at this little fellow here, just little dots of yellow, and the stems have sort of got little zigzags in them. Really unusual. It's from Western Australia, as is this one here, but it doesn't have any leaves because it comes from the desert. So it's an adaptation. So instead of leaves, it's got little spines. An amazing leafless wattle. You know, when I was a kid, grafting native plants, wattles, eucalypts, was thought to be impossible. It was frowned upon as well. But in the 21st century, things have changed. This is one called waterfall. They're all coming from seedling forms of Acacia cognata, which is this lovely, fine, lacy foliage. They do flower in some climates. This one's got a couple little buds on it, so it might flower here, which is great. In the cooler climates, they're much more reliable. Grafted, weeping wattles. How good is that? It's just incredible how much the leaves vary. Yes, this is also a wattle. Listen, it's the sandpaper wattle. Really rough. You could very likely use it as sandpaper. Don't believe me it's a wattle? Oh, OK. There are the flowers. Look at them. Little rod-shaped flowers. Now, the flowers and the leaves all vary. There's a leaf over there of a wattle that's really grey and like an ordinary little shrub. And it's all because of different environments they come from so that you can grow them at home. Oh, must take a picture of this one. Got it. Love it. To get tips on how to grow wattle or any native in your garden, the best place to visit is your local council or community nursery, and I'll show you how to propagate them. Chris, you're the horticulturist here at the nursery.
One of the many, yes.
What a great job.
Thank you, it is.
Now, you're propagating lots of native plants here, some seeds, some cuttings. What can you show us first up?
Well, we do grow well over 100 different species here, some of them rare and threatened, and some of them a bit more well-known, like the old man Banksia. Everyone knows that one, Banksia serrata.
Yep.
And it is waiting for a bushfire to come along and open those up.
Now, obviously, you can't wait around for a bushfire.
We use a barbecue.
Oh, nice.
Which the guys love to do.
Yes.
So here's one that's been burnt earlier today. Seeds are inside, we just give it a good knock.
Oh, there they are.
When people do get this knocked out, they look at that nice woody piece and think that's the seed.
And a little wing.
Yeah,
right.
but this is actually the seed. Just spread those out evenly. We've got to cover that up over the top. Just a nice covering so you can't see the seed anymore.
Brilliant. Oh, done.
Done, except for one really important thing.
Can I suggest?
Yes.
Label?
Yes.
Ah, yeah.
Very good. Because
it's the bleeding obvious thing that we forget. OK, now the next stage is obviously when those little seeds start to germinate.
That's right. They've germinated away and they've turned into wattles.
Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. And then she goes.
That's it. Yeah, that's great.
Tamp it back down.
Only another 4,000 to go and you're hired.
Ah. Seeds done, cuttings.
Yep, that's another great way people can propagate, and it's quite easy to do at home. So with any cuttings you do, it's always important to cut under that node. Anywhere where there's leaves or stems coming out, and that's where the roots will grow from. We dip it into a rooting gel. Just enhances the roots to grow.
And we just pop it in the hole.
And a little bit of a firm around.
Brilliant. Thank you for your time today and showing us those. That's been fantastic. Seeds, cuttings. I'm heading back to the garden, but thanks for today. It's been brilliant.
Thanks for getting your hands dirty.
Yeah. Well, this is what those cutting and seedling grown plants look like in a garden setting. It's just magnificent here. And if you'd like to know what is going to be the next native plant that you'll fall in love with, why don't you pop into a reserve like this one on the weekend or a botanic gardens. You'll hear the bird calls, see some beautiful plants and fall in love with wattles all over again.
You might remember I did one of these wall arts a while back in this lounge room makeover. That was really popular. So I want to show you how to make another version with more of a boho vibe. Nothing to me says more boho than feathers and a little bit of string. If you're into macrame, you would know all about this. If not, it's very easy to do. Basically, you can do a series of knots and you can just use natural elements like string or you can use wool. One of my favourites is sash cord, and you start with a centre piece. Just loop it over at the top. That becomes the spine, if you like. Then you just cut a series of lengths of the sash cord, loop it in half, and then tuck it in underneath. So it forms a loop on one side and 2 tails on the other. Then take a second piece and this time lay it over the top of the other tails, pull those through and thread these through the other side. Basically, it's a reef knot. You basically get that kind of effect. So keep repeating all the way down, just alternating as you go, and that you'll find will give you a really pretty pattern. Now, once you get down and you're going down in tapering lengths, you can actually start then teasing out with a brush cleaning comb, and that's what gives you that pretty frayed effect. It does take a little while, but you know, it's surprisingly calming. I'm actually really enjoying this. I guess if you're a dog groomer, this would be the craft for you. Once you're happy and you feel that you've got a little bit of a shape happening, you can then create that real feather effect just using your scissors and give it a light haircut. Just keep trimming. Every now and then though, just to make sure you're on track, just keep checking with the comb, just give it a little brush. And I think we're ready to attach this to our wall hanging. That beautiful feather. So just down the end here, I think will be good. I've just got a nice gap there waiting. So to link that on, I think this side's the best. I'm just using some ordinary cotton string. Oh, I love this. Isn't it great? Such good texture on the wall, really fun.